Another year, another worst songs list made possible by my extremely generous supporters at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. You can thank these people for these videos still being made. Alright, on with the show. Here's all you need to know about the state of music in 2023. Luke Combs' Fast Car, a cover of a song from 1988, has been on the Billboard Hot 100 for 36 weeks. That's 9 months, the majority of that in the top 10, and shows no sign of leaving. Stale memories, that's what people want. Songs that remind them of a better year than 2023. Fast Car is not on this year's list, but it does feature 5 other songs that interpolate, sample, or flat out cover another song. Pause, place your bets with your friends as to what they'll be, and then brace yourself. For the 14th time, here's my list of the 10 worst songs of 2023. Number 10, and the Meghan Trainor Award for Most Bullshit Girl Power Anthem of the Year goes to Miley Cyrus, Flowers.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, see things you don't understand.
As you know, I love to start these lists off with a song that makes all the pop stans go, "What? So you just put good songs on here? Well, this is why Todd in the Shadows is killing you in views." Yeah. But this song is such a load of bullshit, it could be used to fertilize all those flowers every girl is going to send to themselves after being inspired by Miley. So, this song is about old Hannah Montana pretending she's so over her relationship to Liam Hemsworth. She's so over it that 4 years after their 8-month-long marriage, she released a song on his birthday that interpolates the song he dedicated to her. The song is a direct response to Bruno Mars's When I Was Your Man, which has lyrics like, "I should have bought you flowers and held your hand."
I can take myself dancing, and I can hold my own head. Yeah, I can love me better than you can.
She ain't over shit. Ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a guy sees a girl who's going out and buying herself flowers out of spite, talking to herself for hours, and holding her own hand, they're not thinking, "Oh, there's a stable woman who's absolutely fine with being on her own. She doesn't need a man." They're thinking, "Oh, there's someone who shouldn't be left alone with their thoughts in an empty house with an unlocked medicine cabinet."
Yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love me better, baby.
I mean, based on your voice now versus years ago, we know that you don't love yourself better. If anything, you are in an abusive relationship with yourself. Ultimately, I think Miley would be better suited now to becoming a rock singer. Her cover of Heart of Glass was more rockin' than Blondie's original, and her cover of Nothing Else Matters was maybe the second best thing she's ever done outside of her performance on Black Mirror. But rock doesn't sell in 2023. Anthems for 20-something sad girls who need something to help them get over their 6-month relationship with the guy that they totally thought was the one this time. That shit sells better than flowers on Valentine's Day. Purchased by depressed office workers who want everyone to think that someone loves them. Number 9, and the Trick Daddy Award for Biggest Waste of a Great Sample is Coi Leray, Players.
Yeah, 'cause girls is players too. Yeah, 'cause girls is players too. Keep it playing, baby. 'Cause girls is players too.
Miss Leray, I believe what you meant to say is that girls are players too. So, 41 years ago, 15 years before Coi was conceived, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five released The Message. Perhaps one of the earliest examples of conscious hip-hop, it tells a story of a young man growing up in poverty, trying not to break under the pressures of a system designed to keep him down, ultimately succumbing to the temptations and allure of the gangsta lifestyle, turning to a life of crime, and paying for it by going to prison, where he dies in his cell. It's a commentary on the treatment of poor black people and a cautionary tale about not falling for the bullshit that rappers peddle. The chasing the easy way out comes with consequences. Coi Leray has sampled that song and used it for this.
Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, mo. Cause when you a boss, you could do what you want.
That's right, a song telling poor dudes that they aren't worth her time, cause she's rich and can fuck whoever she wants, that they need to be rich to be with her. She also goes on about catching another flight and all the jewelry that she has in the penthouse she lives in. It's the absolute antithesis of the song she's sampling.
Yeah, cause girls is players too. And it's time that we let them know that girls is players too. Keep it playing, baby.
Yeah, it's time that you let them know. Because no one knew before that girls can be as promiscuous as they'd like to be. No one's ever made a song about that before. Congrats, Coi. You sampled a song called The Message, and you made a song that doesn't have one. Number 8, and the Teen Taylor Swift Award for only singing about one topic goes to Olivia Rodrigo. Bad idea, right?
Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, it's a bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight, fuck it, it's fine.
I've been pretty critical of Olivia Rodrigo's singing prowess, or lack thereof. And that's not going to change here. Sorry, Livies. She sucks. Musically, this sounds like something out of the late 80s, early 90s, which I'm sure is the intention, as the music video is shot in 4:3 with washed out colors. It does make me laugh that the kids love these aesthetics that remind them of a time when they never existed. But she sounds like something that would have been the opening act for Tiffany at a mall in a Los Angeles suburb in 1986. That's not a compliment, kids. She's attempting to mask her inability to sing here by doing it really fast with a loud, up-tempo backing track.
Yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't two people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. Biggest lie I ever said. Oh, yes, I know that he's my ex, but can't two people reconnect? I only see him as a friend. His trip to Fallon to his bed.
Unlike Dua Lipa's New Rules, a superior song with a similar subject matter of attempting to avoid ex-sex, this song isn't about learning a lesson, it's just about giving in to your baser instincts, not thinking about the consequences, making excuses in your head. For her, this is great, as it creates a never-ending loop of material. Boy breaks her heart, she sings about that. Boy sleeps with her again, she sings about that. Boy breaks her heart again, she sings about that. Well, sings is being used in its loosest sense. Like how your aunt says that she sings at karaoke every Thursday, but really, she drunkenly warbles out the world's worst rendition of Shania Twain's Up. But it sounds like everything Olivia does is also done in the loosest sense. No, it's fine. Coi Leray said so. Number 7, and the Toby Keith Award for Most Pandering Song of the Year goes to Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town.
We'll try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
I talked about the controversy of this song earlier in the year, how the libs getting upset at it helped launch it to success, which hilariously was possible due to infrastructure upgrades throughout the USA that has allowed small towns to be more connected to the rest of the world than ever before, leading to the song hitting number 1 on Billboard via streaming. But today I want to talk about the song itself. It's just straight bullshit, that's the problem. It paints this idealistic picture of small towns where people take care of their own, and if you try and commit a crime in a small town, you'll see how far you get before you're eating a bullet courtesy of the Second Amendment. The song is largely thought to be in response to the videos we've seen of crime in the big city. People looting the Nike store and the Lululemon while no one does anything. Something that small towns never have to worry about. There's not gonna ever be a fucking Nike store coming to Truck Nuts, Indiana, okay? But also, rural America has its own problems. The drug problem for starters, and the higher prevalence of substance abuse among the youth overall, due to the fact that there's nothing else to do. Hell, a small town was the only place I ever saw a 12-year-old girl tasked with looking after her severely mentally handicapped, nonverbal younger brother, drunk off her ass, stumbling around a park at 2 in the afternoon, looking for a bench to pass out on. It's the only place where, at every laundromat I stopped at, I never had to wait longer than 15 minutes for someone to come by and offer me drugs. And your idea of taking care of your own is that once Billy Bob becomes homeless because the plant shut down and the bank foreclosed on his house, you buy him a bus ticket to the nearest city so he can sleep in their streets. And then you can point your fingers and go, "My, look at the homeless problems the big cities have. Not like here." Let me ask you something. If I come over to your house and I see those nice clean hardwood floors, when I look under the rug, am I going to see a big old pile of dirt you swept under there too? No, fuck this song. You know what you can also try and do in a small town? Find a store open past 7 p.m. Good fucking luck. Number 6, and the Pink Fong Award for Most Annoying Song of the Year goes to Sam Smith, Coffee, and Jessie Reyes, Gimme.
Gimme, 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 gimme what I want. What I want. Gimme, 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 gimme what I want. What I want.
You know, this isn't the song's fault, but you know where I heard this once? In a Toys R Us. Yes, they still exist in Canada. I was buying Lego, shut up. I like that a manager or someone thought, oh, this'll be a fun song to play in a toy store. And then this line happens.
Everything I want is everything you got. So not before you come over.
I don't think I've ever heard a song talk about rubbing out the easy one before coming over so that you'll last longer while having sex. But I can say with certainty that I definitely have never heard it while standing 20 feet away from a mom shopping with her kid for some squishmallows.
4 years of watching us, giving me such a rush.
And then there's that line about Sam Smith getting off on the idea of people watching him fuck. So that was a really funny experience that I wanted to share with you this year. But ultimately, the song's on here because it is by far the most irritating song of 2023. No fucking question. And if you don't agree with me,
Gimme, 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 gimme what I want.
yes, I will finally make it stop. You're welcome. Number 5, and the Muhammad Ali Award for not knowing when it's time to retire goes to will.i.am and Britney Spears, Mind Your Business.
Where she at? 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 There she go, there she go, there she go, there she go, there she go. What she do, what she do, what she do, what she do, what she do.
Too much watching me, watching you.
And now we have the second most irritating song of the year. I suppose that proper worst of conventions would suggest that this should be ranked lower than the most irritating song, but this was funnier to me. But also it is worse in my opinion, because these are two legends in the industry, a total combined number of hits that I can't even be bothered to count, and this is what they put together in 2023? We know that Britney is out from under her conservatorship, and this is what she makes with her newfound creative control? This is objectively worse than anything she ever made when someone else was steering the ship.
If they don't get up out my face, I'll send the dogs out. 5 seconds and then the dogs come out. You know what happens when the dogs come out.
No, I actually don't. What happens?
None of your business.
It sounds very much like it's my business. It sounds like you're gonna unleash animals to tear my face apart. Anyway, absolutely horrendous processing on the vocals that make it sound like will.i.am stole T-Pain's auto-tune settings from 2008. The flow of the verses are terrible, and this song sounds like something that should have came out 12 years ago. It still would have been a bad song 12 years ago, but at least it would have been a bad song that was on trend 12 years ago.
Mind your beat, mind your beat, mind your beat. business. Mind your business, bitch.
You know what, Brittany? I will. If this is all you got left in you, post all the nudes for attention on Instagram that you want while telling people to mind their bee. The irony's not lost on me. Put out more of this mindless, repetitive drivel. I'm just gonna mind my business and ignore it. We all should have listened to like 16 years ago and left Brittany alone then. Maybe then we could have avoided this. Number 4, and the Will Smith Award for the Worst Movie Soundtrack Song of the Year goes to Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice featuring Aqua, Barbie World.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a Ken. Like Jazzy, Stacy, Nikki. All of the Barbies is pretty. All of the Barbies is bad. It girls, and we ain't playing tag.
Have you ever come across a turd on the sidewalk, looked at it, and thought, I bet I could make this worse. I'm gonna throw a piss on it and then garnish it with some pineapple chunks. You haven't? No, because you're a normal human being with normal human thoughts. But that's what Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice have done here with Aqua's Barbie Girl. Arguably the worst song of 1997, and maybe a top 5 worst song of that entire decade. And before you say, Buckley, it wasn't that bad, I was in high school when that shit came out. I lived through it. Like teens of the 70s describe living through disco, or teens of the 50s describe living through nuclear prep drills. There's nothing the hot clown woman with the ass and the walking skin bag of fillers could do to improve this song. But they sure tried anyway.
We got money, but we ain't lending out. We got bars, but we ain't belling out. In that pink Ferrari, we pillin' out. I told Tay, bring the Bob Dylan out. That pussy so cold, we just chillin' out. Baby yelling, yet yelling out. It's Barbie, bitch, if you still in doubt.
A reminder that Bob Dylan is the first and only musician to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. I wonder what makes him feel more honored. That, or being mentioned alongside Nicki Minaj's vagina.
And I see the bread, I want all of it. And I want the green, so I all of it. And I throw it back, so he losing it. And I give the box with no shoes in it.
Now, Ice Spice, is there normally room in your box for shoes? If so, they're doing wonderful things with rejuvenation surgery these days. I want the green, so I all of it might be one of the worst forced rhymes / innuendos of all time. But you know what? Ice Spice is young. She's got plenty of time to make something that sucks even more than this. Anyway, if you told me in 1997 that there was a way to make Barbie Girl worse, I would have said, not a fucking chance. So congrats, ladies. You proved that you can indeed make a sidewalk turd worse. Number 3, and the Hayley Williams Award for Thinnest Skinned Artist of the Year goes to Drake, featuring Lil Yachty, Another Late Night.
It's just another late night with my bitch. Just another late night with my bitch. And I hate to even call her as my bitch. Cause I love that hoe, don't even make no sense.
So, in this song, Drake's conflicted. He's got feelings for a woman, but that doesn't make sense. Women aren't something you love. They're just fun, warm toys you stick your dick into. A sort of sentient Tim Hortons donut fresh from the microwave. Right, Aubrey? Nice of him, though, to suggest that he almost feels bad to call the hoe a bitch. Chivalry isn't dead in the rap world after all. Oh, and speaking of nice, I think he's granted a make-a-wish to a sick child whose dream was to always rap, but a brain injury has prevented them from doing so. Oh, wait, no. I'm getting word that this is just Lil Yachty.
My bitch know it's us without opening either her eyelids. This bitch so pure, don't even fucking tryna raise our mileage. You take G6s knowing you'll never take one with polish. I let her go, she fine as hell, but baby wasn't stylish. She had big tits like Billie Eilish, but she couldn't sing. We catch the ops, don't want no apologies, just kiss the ring.
Mr. Yachty, I don't want to tell anyone how to do their job, but I think when you're writing a rap verse, what you want to try and do is only write as many words as can comfortably fit into each bar, so that there's a pleasant sounding flow to the verse as a whole. Because unfortunately, coupled with the fact that you sound like you have a mouthful of peanut butter at all times, this sounds like an incoherent mess that you wrote without ever having heard the music first, and you just thought you'd make it work anyway. But what do I know? You've been on 2 top 10 hits, And my rap song only has 40,000 views, so I'll defer to your expertise on the matter. Besides, this is why the song's on here, and why it's getting the Hayley Williams Thin Skin Award.
My bank account is Magnolia Millie rockin', ayy. Widows in my comments talking about some Millie Bobby. Look, bring them jokes up to the game, we get to really flocking. Or send a finger to your mama in some FedEx boxes.
Drake, you're calling other people weirdos? You openly talked about befriending and texting a teenage girl, giving her dating advice, when you have a history of fucking around with girls you met when they were underage. Allegedly. Here's some free advice for you. Don't like people making jokes about you being inappropriate with Millie Bobby Brown? Don't be fucking inappropriate with Millie Bobby Brown. But again, what do I know? One of us dates women roughly our own age and is not rich, and one of us is Drake. You can get to flocking all right. You can flock right off to the States and stay there, you flocking creep. Number 2, and the Madonna Award for Most Unwelcome Cover of the Year goes to Fall Out Boy, We Didn't Start the Fire. Okay, so here we have a nostalgia act. Yes, by this point, Fall Out Boy is a nostalgia act for people who were 13 years old in 2006. They're 30 years old now, and they're like, man, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, that was my fucking childhood. Anyway, we have a nostalgia act covering an old song that references a bunch of things that people were nostalgic for, updated with lyrics about new things that people are nostalgic for. We are now nostalgic for nostalgia. Fall Out Boy makes an almost note-for-note remake of the Billy Joel song, which, if you don't know the original, was just a list of things that happened, inventions, and notable people, places, songs, and films from like the late 40s to 1989, the song's release year. Fall Out Boy adds their own spin on it by putting a little distortion in there, so you know, oh yeah, this is a 2000s pop-punk band. And of course, changes all the lyrics to cover 1989 to now. The hook suggests that we, the modern generation of the time, didn't cause any of the issues listed in the song, such as the Little Rock Uprising, the Vietnam War, the H-bomb, the Bay of Pigs, JFK's assassination, or U2's popularity. I think that belongs in the same list. I know it's the spy plane, not the band, but anyway, we didn't do it, but we have to deal with it. 34 years later, that same sentiment exists. Millennials and Gen Z aren't responsible for anything. We're just dealing with all the problems created by Gen X, who, 34 years ago, said they weren't responsible for all the shit that boomers and the greatest generation did. Thanks, Fall Out Boy. You really just showed how good everyone is at passing the fucking buck. Nothing's our problem, and we'll say that we're gonna deal with it, but we're not. Our kids can deal with it.
Captain Planet, Arab Spring, LA riots, Rodney King, deep fakes, earthquakes, Iceland volcano, Oklahoma City bomb, Kurt Cobain, Pokemon, Tiger Woods, MySpace, Monsanto, GMO.
People have pointed out that the original was at least in some semblance of chronological order, while here we have things that literally span decades listed in the same verse. Rodney King and the LA riots happened in 1991, while the Arab Spring Uprising began in 2010. Tiger Woods won his first major in 1996, while MySpace launched in 2003. But you're not supposed to think about any of this. You're just supposed to hear words. Captain Planet, Pokemon, Tiger Woods, MySpace. These are references I'm aware of. This makes my brain hum the happy feelings. The song could have just been a BuzzFeed article titled 100 or so things kids today probably won't know about. But then, we would have been denied the beautiful voice of Patrick Stump reminding us that white rhinos went extinct and the World Trade Center got hit by 2 planes, and that neither of those things are our fault, nor will we do anything to prevent similar issues in the future. And the big ball of fire that is the world keeps on turning. And finally, this year's recipient of the Iggy Azalea Memorial Award for the Worst Song of 2023 is Meghan Trainor, Mother.
I am your mother. to me. Stop all that mansplaining, no one's listening. Tell me who gave you the permission to speak. I am your mother, you listen to me.
Well, everyone, for the second year in a row, a song I already autopsied is the worst song of the year. But I told you this would happen in the first 10 seconds of that video. This song might be one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. It is sonically unpleasant to listen to, an actual assault on the auditory senses. That clapping or snapping or whatever it is in the background that, as I said in the previous video, I think is meant to simulate assholes on TikTok who clap or snap to get your attention. The processing on her voice. And of course, the sheer fucking smugness of it all. The whole, I'm the one that gives permission to speak. You must listen to me. And then I get to decide if you can say anything. And of course, the absolute butchering of a classic, interpolating Mr. Sandman with elementary school level name calling.
You just
But you know, something I didn't talk about in that video, the song title and concept itself. It comes from the LGBT community, the title of Mother given to gay icons. This is how the song actually starts.
The fact that Meghan Trainor is literally mother right now.
Now, LGBT and all the others. I like to think we have a shaky and uneasy alliance, but an alliance nonetheless. I've gone to bat for you a few times, made fun of companies trying to pander to you with shitty rainbow capitalism, made fun of the insecure losers who throw a fit at seeing a rainbow on a shirt in Target, made fun of people who wouldn't make you a cake. So, I say this knowing full well that you can tell me I'm wrong. I'm not your mother, and you don't have to listen to me. But, do you really see Meghan Trainor as a gay icon? She's the straightest, most boring fucking woman on the goddamn planet. Like, I know you guys like Linda Carter and consider her a gay icon. She's straight as well, but you've had her grand marshal a few parades. She was Wonder Woman, for those of you who don't know, but Meghan Trainor is Wonder Bread Woman. That she calls herself Mother, even if it's apparently based on some fucking TikTok comment, just seems absurd, as she tells everyone else not to mansplain, not to force their unwanted opinions on others, as she bestows this title upon herself. Seems a little hypocritical, which would be the first time she's been called a little anything. No, Buckley, you were so close! Alright, that's it. Another 10 worst songs in the books. And of course, honorable mentions go to Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, Princess Diana.
Nowadays I be ducking them cameras, and they hype that I'm up on them banners, calling my phone but they know I don't answer. In the hood I'm like Princess Diana.
You're like Princess Diana in what way? In that a bunch of paparazzi are trying to run you off the road? Sadly, that does. Kim Petras and Nicki Minaj, Alone.
I've been trying to give it to you all night. What's it gonna take to get you all alone?
This song, of course, samples Alice DJ's Better Off Alone. And the world would have been better off if you left this song alone. But it's mostly on here because I can never hear this song without it reminding me of a local ad for computers from the 2000s. Lotto. Lottery.
If I let you take me home with you tonight, if I let you see what I got on my mind, if I tell you all my dirty fantasies, you won the lottery.
Lotto is really trying to retcon the origin of her name, doing everything she can to make it sound like all this time it's actually been a play on lotto, short for lottery, when it's not. It's very much not. But please play again, Lotto. I can tell you right now, though, if you were the grand prize for the lottery, I'd take whatever the cash equivalent was instead. What do you think? About $8 and a free play? Actually, I think free play was her nickname back in high school. No, it's okay. Coil Ray said so. And finally, Sexy Red and Nicki Minaj, Pound Town.
I'm out of town, thuggin' with my round. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Where the niggas? I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, cause suck a bitch toe.
No words. Just an exasperated man wondering where we failed a generation that's comfortable with describing their anus. Alright, Meggie, who are you again?
I am your mother. You listen to me. Stop all that mansplaining. No one's listening. Tell me who gave you the permission to speak. I am your mother. You listen to me.
Once again, I can't thank my supporters enough. Independent channels that are mostly ad-free, aside from videos like this, blame the labels, and don't need to resort to 2-minute breaks for some sponsored read for a product you'll never use, just don't really exist now. A Dose of Buckley is the last of a dying breed, and it's all thanks to these people, and all of my supporters at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Thank you for a great 2023, and we'll see you for more in 2024.